Good day, investors and market enthusiasts. Today we're taking a deep dive into the recent performance of the Indian stock market indices. So, let's get straight to the numbers and see what they're telling us about the current market trends. We'll begin by looking at the performance from yesterday, going back over the last week, and then stretching out to the last month. It's been a roller coaster, so buckle up as we analyze the ups and downs. Starting with yesterday's close, compared to the previous trading day, we're seeing a mix of slight upticks and downticks across the board. These daily movements are normal as investors react to the latest news and earnings reports. As we chart our course through the market's waves, let's cast a speculative eye on what the next week could hold for the NIFTY MIDCAP 50, NIFTY 50 and NIFTY MIDCAP 100. Remember, these are not predictions but projections based on the current market's heartbeat. Now, let's step back and examine the week's performance. 1 week ago, the indices were at different levels compared to where they closed yesterday. This weekly snapshot gives us a better idea of the market's short-term trends and helps us to understand the broader investor sentiment. Expanding our view to the last month, we can start to see patterns emerging. Whether it's been bullish optimism or bearish caution, the month's performance can often reflect larger economic trends and the impact of policy decisions on the markets. Remember, these numbers are just one part of the story. To truly understand the market dynamics, it's essential to consider the context from global economic news to domestic events that could be influencing investor behavior. Whether it's an announcement from the Reserve Bank, a geopolitical event, or a major corporate earnings release, each plays a critical role in shaping the market's direction. The Nifty 50 experienced a mixed bag of performances, reflecting the nuanced dance between bulls and bears. Opening at 22,930.75, the index saw a tightrope walk of highs and lows, with the zenith at 23,004.05 and the nadir at 22,908.00, before closing slightly lower at 22,902. Diving into individual stocks, we saw remarkable performances. Let's highlight a few standouts. LT, a linchpin in the infrastructure sector, saw a commendable climb with a 1.41% increase, hinting at positive investor sentiment. Hindelco, the metal giant, also shone brightly with a 1.21% uptick, but signaling potential growth in the commodities sector. Volume and value tell the story of investor engagement. A behemoth like SBI exchanged hands 52 million times today, amassing a significant Rs 437.29 crores in trade value, underscoring its heavyweight status in the banking sector. When we scan the horizon for the 52-week highs and lows, we can glean insights into the market's temperature. Several stocks are flirting with their zeniths, suggesting either a ceiling of resistance or the prelude to a breakout. The 30-day and 365-day percentage changes are our temporal telescopes, giving us a view of the past to predict the future. Stocks with the highest annual gains, like Adaniant, reflect long-term investor confidence, possibly buoyed by solid fundamentals or sector tailwinds. What does this all mean for you, the investor? Today's market movements are a mosaic of individual narratives. As we peek into tomorrow, let's remember that every day is a page in the grander story of the market. Will these patterns hold? Time will tell, and we'll be here to narrate that story. We're zooming in on the Nifty MIDCAP 50's performance from 24th May 2024. Let's dive into the numbers and see what they mean for traders and investors alike. The Nifty MIDCAP 50 started the day at 14,687.85 and saw a tight trading range with a high of 14,706.85 and a low of 14,623.80. A slight negative change of -0.03% from the previous close indicates a rather stable market, with no big surprise. But the calm surface of the index belies the undercurrents. IDEA led the charge with a stunning 7.47% surge, while Astral and Indus Tower also posted impressive gains, reflecting strong investor confidence. Volume speaks volumes, and today, IDEA took the spotlight with over 116 crore shares traded, amounting to a staggering Rs 1,718.29 crores. This kind of liquidity can be a double-edged sword, signaling either accumulation or distribution. The 52-week highs and lows provide a broader perspective. For instance, stocks like Astral are approaching their peak levels, which could be a resistance or a breakout point, a critical juncture for any technical analyst out there. Overall, the mid-cap space is showing a blend of optimism with select stocks making notable moves. However, with the market holding steady, it's a game of patience and precision. What's next for the Nifty Midcap 50? Will the gainers continue their ascent? Or will we see a shift in market sentiment? Keep watching the numbers, do your due diligence, and stay tuned. The Nifty 50 had a day of subtle shifts with a marginal overall decline of 0.05%. It opened at 22,930.75, tested the waters with a high of 23,026.40, and found support at a low of 22,908.00 before closing slightly down at 22,957.10. Now, let's spotlight the stars of the day. HDFC Bank led the charge with a commendable 1.60% gain, followed closely by Bharti Airtel and BPCL, both climbing over 1%. It seems the banking and telecom sectors had quite a bullish sentiment, with investors dialing in on their growth potential. On the flip side, some stocks faced headwinds. For instance, Tech Mahindra and ITC took a dip, with declines of 1.42% and 1.09%, respectively. These moves could reflect sector-specific news or broader market reactions that we'll be keeping an eye on. Peering through the lens of time, we observed that many stocks are holding strong compared to their positions a week, a month, and even a year ago. The Nifty 50 has come a long way, with a solid 25.61% year-over-year growth showcasing the resilience and potential of the Indian market. You've seen the broad strokes of today's market, but let's zoom in for a closer look at the heartbeat of the Nifty 50. With each tick of the market clock, stories of gains and setbacks unfold. Let's uncover these tales. HDFC Bank's uptick was notable, reaching a high of Rs 1,519.90 before settling at Rs 1,516.50. This movement might reflect strong investor confidence in the banking sector, possibly due to favourable financial reports or economic cues. Bharti Airtel, soaring to its 52-week high of Rs 1,397.5, closed at Rs 1,389.50, signalling potential growth catalysts in the telecom space. Meanwhile, the energy sector also showed signs of life, with BPCL climbing 1.12% and touching a high of Rs 663.35. Investors seemed energized by the company's prospects, driving the stock above the previous close. But not all that glitters is gold. The market had its share of dips, with ITC and Tech Mahindra facing downward pressure. ITC's dip to a low of Rs 435.30 before closing at Rs 436.55 could be attributed to market rotation or sector-specific challenges. Similarly, Tech Mahindra's descent to Rs 1,318.000, closing at Rs 1,342.50, might reflect the market's response to tech sector news or earnings expectations. It's a reminder that even tech giants aren't immune to the market's caprices. Looking at the week's journey, the index has been relatively stable, with slight gains suggesting cautious optimism among investors. The monthly view paints a brighter picture, with a 2.68% increase, hinting at a positive sentiment building up over the past 30 days. Stepping back to view the year-long canvas, we've witnessed a robust 25.61% climb from a year ago, showcasing the market's ability to climb walls of worry and reward patient investors. In the grand tapestry of the stock market, each thread the daily highs and lows, the weekly ebbs and flows, the monthly and annual trends weaves together to form a picture of an ever-evolving financial ecosystem. Now, I turn to you, our savvy viewers. What patterns have you spotted in today's market? Which sectors do you believe are poised for growth? And which do you feel might need a closer watch? Share your insights and join the conversation. Dissecting the Nifty Midcap 50's performance on May 24, 2024. We've got the highs, the lows, and all the pivotal movements in between. Let's dive in. The Nifty Midcap 50 saw a slight dip of 0.10%, closing at 14,662.65, just a notch below the previous close. The index experienced a tight trading range, with a high of 14,762.30 and a low of 14,623.80. Now, let's spotlight the top performers. IDEA soared with a 7.47% spike, reaching an impressive high of 15.70, which indicates strong investor interest. Bharat Forge wasn't far behind, flexing its muscles with a 5.14% gain and touching its 52-week high of 1,587.00. Astral painted an optimistic picture, climbing 2.13% and capitalizing on its momentum. On the financial front, IDEA Capital also saw a healthy rise of 1.86%, reflecting positive investor sentiment in the sector. Looking back, these stocks have shown remarkable year-over-year growth, with IDEA astonishingly more than doubling in value, signaling a potential turnaround story that's been unfolding over the past year. It wasn't all green, though. The market had its share of declines. For instance, Suzlon Energy tumbled by 4.97% and Godrej Properties slid by 2.94%, each facing their own headwinds that led to a cautious approach from the investors. Astral and IDEA Capital painted a positive streak in their respective sectors, with Astral piping up the construction sector and IDEA Capital highlighting financials. These gains could be indicative of sectoral strength or company-specific catalysts. When we cast our gaze over the past year, the narrative becomes even more interesting. With IDEA more than doubling its value, investors might be witnessing a turnaround story or a sector coming into its own. The year-on-year changes in stocks like NMDC and MMRF also reflect substantial growth, signaling investor confidence and market endorsement. Yet, not every story has a happy ending, at least for the day. The trading volume and value tell us where the action was hottest. IDEA's massive trading volume suggests it was the day's focal point, potentially due to impactful news or large-scale institutional movements. With IDEA's stellar performance and Bharat Forge's impressive rally, if the underlying factors driving their surge remain, we might see these trends persist into the next week. However, the market is a creature of many moods, and external economic indicators due to be released next week could turn the tide. Keep an eye on global market news over the weekend. Any major international policy announcements or economic data could prime the market for a move in either direction come Monday. If the current positive sentiment in the telecom and financial sectors continues, we might see further gains. However, should profit-taking kick in after this week's highs, a consolidation phase could be on the horizon. What does this tell us? While the market as a whole showed restraint, individual sectors and stocks told a story of growth and opportunity. The day's trading volume and value hint at active participation, with IDEA trading over 3 billion shares, a clear signal of investor focus. We're unpacking the market action within the NIFTY MIDCAP. The NIFTY MIDCAP 100 showed a subtle positive change of 0.01%, closing at 52,424.45. It opened at 52,464.55 and reached a high of 52,731.30, indicating some optimism among investors. Now, to the stars of the day. BDL blasted off with a 10.44% increase, soaring well past its opening price to hit a new 52-week high. This could signal strong investor confidence or positive developments within the company. IDEA wasn't far behind, ringing in a 7.47% gain. With over 3 billion shares traded, it was clearly in the spotlight, suggesting significant news or market speculation driving its volume. Bharat Forge hammered out a 5.14% gain, and BSE surged 4.30%. These robust movements reflect a market that's responsive to underlying economic factors or company-specific news. On the flip side, not every stock enjoyed the day. We saw some retreat from previous highs, with stocks like Persistent dipping by 0.52% and Mankind slipping 0.78%, potentially due to profit-taking or sector rotation. Volume tells us where investors are putting their money. Stocks like IDEA, with its massive volume, along with BDL and Bharat Forge, saw significant trading activity, indicating heightened interest or possible institutional involvement. Today's market showed us that opportunities and challenges coexist, with the potential for growth as certain sectors and stocks shine, while others reassess their positions. The index itself showed restraint, with a marginal increase of 0.01%, ending the session at 52,424.45. It's a subtle hint that the mid-cap sector is hovering, waiting for a catalyst to define its next big move. Volume speaks volumes, and today, IDEA's staggering trade volume caught everyone's attention, climbing a substantial 7.47%. This kind of movement may suggest news-driven trading or significant investor reallocations. BDL's rocketing ascent of 10.44% to its 52-week high suggests a story unfolding, perhaps an announcement or a breakthrough that has investors rallying. Barrett-Fog's impressive gain of 5.14% also stands out, hinting at positive sentiment in the industrial space. Looking back, the year-on-year percentage change provides us with a historical backdrop. Stocks like BDL, which saw a monumental increase of 164%, and Barrett-Fog, up 95.93%, reflect not just daily volatility but potentially a longer-term trend of strength. Conversely, PAYTM and Suzlon encountered resistance, with declines exceeding 4%. Such moves could be reactions to earnings reports, sectoral shifts, or broader market sentiment. The trading volume provides a window into market interest. Stocks like Barrett-Fog and BSE, which saw high trading volumes, might have been influenced by investor speculation or institutional interest, as market participants reacted to news or technical levels. When we compare today's highs and lows against the 52-week benchmarks, we see that several stocks are flirting with their annual peaks, indicating a market that is testing its upper limits. Will they break through, or is a correction on the horizon?
Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring that bell to get notified about our latest content. Until next time, keep investing, keep learning, and keep growing. We'll meet you in next video. Signing off.